in the next couple of videos, I want to cover some important interview questions related to the Python. Sir, maybe a chance we covered a big theory. Okay, almost few months, not a couple of months we took. Okay, a huge number of sessions. Theory, it's perfectly all right. If you are very strong in theory, very strong in our regular sessions, then any type of interview, happily you can give the left and right. Okay. Anyway, just to bring you people, for the interview room sake. What I want to cover, I want to provide some very important interview questions related to the Python. Okay, so important interview questions, interview questions related to Python. Important interview questions, interview FAQs, so frequently asked questions we are going to discuss, right? Sir, in the just mostly a couple of sessions I will take. In every session, some few important questions we are going to discuss. But make sure these questions already you people may aware. Just I will review these things. If you are not in a position, if you didn't know already, then happily you can learn. Okay, remember that few new things also you people can expect from these 3 or 4 sessions, right? Okay, well, sir, can you please tell the most commonly asked question, the most commonly asked question, what is the difference between, what is the difference between is operator, and double equal operator in Python? What is the difference between is operator and double equal operator in Python? Anyone, can you please tell what is the difference between these two things? ah, Respond, because we discussed in our regular sessions. You people should have clear clarity about these. Okay, just sir, in general, in general, okay, in general, is operator, is operator meant for, is operator meant for, have you remembered, right? Is operator meant for reference comparison, reference comparison. Is operator meant for reference comparison, or some people may use the word address comparison, reference comparison, reference comparison, comparison, or address comparison? So what it means, what it means, that is if two references are pointing to the, are pointing to the same object, if two references are pointing to the same object, then only is operator returns true, sir. So if two references pointing to the same object are not, okay, like if two references point into the same object, then only is operator returns true. Remember a bit very carefully, sir. That's what reference comparison or address comparison, right? Of course, with example we will explain, don't worry at all. Sir, what about double equal operator? Sir, double equal operator meant for, double equal operator meant for content comparison. Can you please spell out what is that, sir? Meant for content comparison. That is, even though, that is, even though objects are different, even though objects are different, if the content is the same, if the content is the same, if the content is the same, then if the content is the same, then double equal operator returns true. Remember a bit very carefully, sir. This point is the very important. Is operator meant for reference comparison, double equal operator meant for content comparison. That is, even though objects are different, the content is the same, then the double equal operator returns a true. Yes, friends, are you in the position to understand? Yes, can you please confirm? Okay, like very important, sir. So immediately you ask, sir, okay, can you please explain with an example, then we can feel more comfortable, like sir, here just observe that a bit carefully about this one. Sir, I'm trying to take L1 is equal to, L1 is equal to 10 comma 20 comma 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 40. Okay, L1 is equal to 10 20 30 40. L2 is equal to 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, L3 L3 is equal to L1. Okay, like or otherwise leave that. So L1, L2. Okay, now how many list objects will be created? Can you please confirm? Because of this, how many list objects are created? Two objects, because in the case of list, reusing same object won't be there. Remember that in the case of list, reusing same object won't be there. Every time it's going to create a separate object. So this object is the different and this object is the different, sir. So L1 pointing to one list object, L2 pointing to another list object. But the big specialty is the content is the same or not? Yes, yes, is the content is the same or not? Yes, even though objects are different, but content is the same. That's why is operator returns a false, because both L1 and L2 are not pointing to the same object. L1 address, L2 address is the different. That's why is operator always going to return false, false. But what about the double equal operator? Double equal operator meant for content comparison. Even though objects are different, but still content is the same. Here 10, 20, 30, 40. Here also 10, 20, 30, 40. That's why double equal operator returns true. Okay, like, sir, now where is the proof for the print L1 is L2? L1 is L2. Let me take, sir. Sir, anyone can you please tell what is the output we are going to get? Please confirm. L1 is L2. What the answer we are going to get? False is the answer, because L1 and L2 both are not pointing to the same object. Let me cross check. Even addresses are different. Remember it very carefully, sir. Yes, false is the answer, sir. So why? Why? Because both are not pointing to the same. Where is the proof? Print ID of L1. What is the address of L1? What is the address of L2? ID of L1, ID of L2, like I'm trying to take, sir. If I can take like, what is the answer we are going to get? Have you observed, right? 800, 808. Both addresses are different. Have you observed? 800, 808. That's why, as the addresses are different, is operator is always going to returns false. Okay, like, even addresses are different. Perfect. But the content is the same or not? Please confirm. Is the content is the same or not? Yes, the content is always the same. Then print L1 double equal to L2. Okay, like L1 double equal to L2. What is the output by default you are going to get? Yes, sir, definitely true is the answer you are going to get, because content wise both the things are same. Even objects are different. Now observe, what is the output by default you are getting, sir? True itself is the answer. Any doubt? Any doubt? You can very easily answer this type of questions, right? Now I have one small thing is that, sir, L3 is equal to L1. L3 is equal to L1. L1 like this I do. So if I'm taking L3 is equal to L1, anyone can you please guide what will happen? So already L1 point into 10, 20, 30, 40 list object type. L3 is equal to L1. Now L3 is also pointing to the same object. Oh, L1 address, L3 address, both the things are pointing to the same object, means addresses are same. Addresses are same. In this case, is operator returns true. Okay, like now observe, print L1 is L3. What is the answer? Can you please confirm? What is the answer we are going to get in this case? So true or not? Yes, true, because both are pointing to the same object. Okay, like now observe the last one, true itself is the answer. Suppose if I can take L1 double equal to L3, can you please confirm what is the output you are going to get now? Please confirm. What the answer we are going to get? L1 double equal to L3. Yes, in this case, the output is also true only. What is the reason for that? Yes, if both are pointing to the same object, L1, L3 point into the same object, the content of L1, the content of L3 always the same, because here only one object is there. That's why even in this case also true itself is the answer we are going to get. Yes, the last one, true is the answer. So I hope you people are getting very clearly. Even in our regular sessions I explain very well, but anyway, just as the repetition, this there may be a chance of this type of question. Please take a bit special care. Clear, right? Yeah, L1 is equal to L3. Okay, this concept is called aliasing concept. I hope at our childhood somewhere we covered maybe in our regular session aliasing. Of course, it's also very important for the entire room. That part also separately I will cover. Don't worry. So, what is the difference between is operator, double equal operator? Can you explain with an example? Yes, you should be in the position to answer this one, sir. Is meant for reference comparison, double equal meant for content comparison. Can you explain with an example? Yes, perfect. Here it is highly recommended. Better to take a list object only. Don't take a tuple object. Don't take fundamental objects, fundamental data type objects, because the reason is in the case of tuple same object can be reused. Yes. Take very special care. Okay, better you, if any person want exact difference, better to go for list example only. Don't go for set, I mean don't go for tuple case. Can I go to second question? You people are feeling comfortable with this? Okay, next, maybe a chance to ask the question. Explain about explain about the ternary operator, ternary operator or conditional operator, conditional operator. Why this question is the very important? Most of the people don't know ternary operator or conditional operator in Python. Remember a bit carefully. Most of the people don't know about this operator. That's why it is also important for the interview room. Okay, please make a bit special care. Sir, how you can use ternary? Suppose if I use this one plus x, or otherwise negation x, something like, okay, plus x I'm taking. So this plus is applicable for for only one argument. That's why I can use the word, it is the unary operator. Unary operator plus x, unary operator. Suppose x plus y I'm taking, sir. Can you please confirm what is this operator? It is a binary operator, because plus operator we are using for how many arguments? Two arguments I'm using. That's why it is a binary operator, right? Okay, binary. So now ternary means, if we are applying operator for three arguments, ternary means, if we are trying to apply for three arguments, then we will get, it is treated as a ternary operator. Take a bit special care. So what is the syntax for that? Very simple, sir. X is equal to, sir, first value if a condition is true, else second value, else second value. Okay, this is the syntax, right? Please take a bit very special care. Here how many arguments are there? Three arguments are there. Yes, this is the first value. Of course, with the example I will cover, don't worry. This is one argument, this is the second argument. Here we are going to check the condition. If this condition is the true, then I have to consider this value. If this condition is the false, then I have to consider this value. Okay, like, so now take very special care. This is the syntax. So we are applying this operator for three arguments. That's why it is considered as a ternary operator. Okay, please take a bit very special care. Sir, how many arguments are there? How many arguments are there? Respond. How many arguments are there? Three arguments, right? So condition is one argument, sir. First value is the another argument, second value is the another argument, right? If a condition, if a condition, if a condition is if a condition is true, if condition is true, then first value will be considered. First value will be considered. Otherwise second value will be considered. Okay, that's all. So can you explain with an example how you can use ternary operator in Python? Can you explain with an example, like, maybe a chance to ask the question, sir? Happily you should be in the position to answer, sir. Very simple example, sir. Very simple example. So I want to find biggest of three numbers, two numbers. Okay, find the biggest of two given numbers. Find big or max of two given numbers, right? Find the max of two given numbers. Two given numbers is my requirement, right? So first read first value, read second value. Sir, now you have to tell which is the max value. This is about my requirement, right? Suppose A is equal to int of input of enter first value. Enter first value. Okay. A is equal to enter first value. B is equal to int of input enter second value. Enter second value. Now, can you please tell how to find max value? Max is equal to, okay, very simple. Because here my requirement is by using ternary operator, I want to explain. I don't want to go for any shortcuts. You have to familiar with the ternary operator, right? Yes, very simple. Sir, if A greater than B, if A greater than B, then which is the max value? A is the max. Okay, if A greater than B, A is the max. Otherwise, B is the max. Otherwise, B is the max. Okay, like, sir, max is equal to, okay, A, if A greater than B, else B is the max value. Friends, can you please confirm? Everyone in the position to understand this one? Hey, respond. Everyone in the position to understand this? What is the syntax? What is the syntax? Yeah, three arguments. I hope you people are saying. Yes, sir, this is the first argument. This is the first argument. Next, this is the second argument, conditional check, and this is the third argument. That's why it is the ternary operator, right? Sir, now print max value, maximum value. Print maximum value. Okay, is max, like this. I'm trying to take. Yeah, simple example, easy thing what there inside. Now let me execute this code. Enter first value 10, enter second value 20, enter second value 20. Yes, perfect. Maximum value is the 20. Maximum value is the 20. Like, enter first value, enter first value. So 20, enter second value 10. Okay, like, maximum value is the 20. So now enter first value 10, enter second value 10, enter second value 10. Okay, now maximum value is the 10. Perfect. Okay, take a bit very special care about this terminology. Any explanation is required? Can you please confirm? Yeah, someone is asking about why don't you take yes, inside upstream the output. Yes, Ram Sai, happily you can take, no problem at all. No problem. You can take this total thing in the place of max, or in the case of upstream also we can do that, no problem at all. Chavi Kumari, if you use f string, maximum value, okay, max, like this we can take. Somewhere we covered. Clear for you people, right? Okay, like, yeah. So that's all. This is a simplest example what you people should aware. Find the maximum of two given numbers. So find maximum, of two given numbers. Okay, like, so same way find the minimum of two given numbers or minimum of three given numbers. Like, I hope you can do that. Not required to keep any explanation about this. Sir, is a nesting of ternary operator is possible or not? Yes, why not? Happily you can do that. Nesting is always possible. Okay, just a matter of 1 minute. Find the biggest of three numbers. Biggest of three given numbers. Nothing will be there, sir. It's a very easy. Okay, it's a very easy. Enter third number. Enter third value. Enter third value. Now here just take very special care about this one. Sir, now listen carefully. If A greater than B and A greater than C, which is the max value? Respond. If A greater than B and A greater than C, which is the max value? A is the max value. A is the max value. Perfect. Perfect. Sir, else means A is not max value. A is not max value. then which is the max value? Then which is the max value? Can you please confirm? Either B or C. Either B or C is the max value. If for B greater than C, if for B greater than C, then which is the max value? Which is the max value? B is the max value. Else, which is the max value? C is the max value. Yeah, wonderful. Now observe a bit carefully about this one, sir. So here A, if for this condition is satisfied, A is the max value. Else, sir, if for this condition is satisfied, B the max value. Else, C is the max value. Directly. Can I take like this? Can I take like this? Yes, why not? Happily you can take. Okay, like now here have a look once, sir. This is okay. Now I'm taking max value. Okay, like I'm trying to take, sir, print. Yeah, instead of max value, let me take a biggest value. Okay, biggest value. Okay, because three numbers are there, right? Now let me take f string. Now let me take f string. Okay, biggest value, biggest, sorry, biggest value. Okay, is biggest value is okay, like I'm trying to take biggest value. That's it. Clear, right? Okay, enter first value 10, enter second value 20, enter third value 30. Yes, the biggest value is the 30. Perfectly, it's going to work. You are not required to worry at all. Yes, any explanation is required? Can you please confirm? Any explanation is required about this? So nesting of ternary operator, is it possible or not? Can you please confirm? Nesting of ternary operator, is it possible or not? Yes, is possible. What is the meaning of nesting of ternary? Means inside the ternary operator we are using another ternary operator actually. So this is the ternary operator, right? This is the ternary operator else, but in the second value, again to get second value, I'm trying to use a ternary operator again. So inside the ternary operator we can use another ternary operator. Nesting of ternary operator is possible. Okay, so example, if you require, this is the example what you have to take care. So if any person is asking about what is the difference between ternary operator, sorry, what is the meaning or what is the purpose of ternary operator, how you can use, can you explain with an example? I hope you should be in the position to answer. Clear? Okay, next, maybe a chance to ask, what are various data types available in Python? Okay, what are various data types? What are various data types available in Python? What are various data types available in Python? Wow, you have to tell your known data types, at least some. Okay, like known things. Sir, can you please confirm what are various data types available in Python? Are Python inbuilt data types? Okay, various data types. What are various inbuilt data types available in Python? Inbuilt data types available in Python. Like, so can you please confirm int? Okay, at least you have to tell some int. Next, and after that float, possible to specify float value. Next, complex. This is the big specialty for the Python when compared with the other. Okay, int, float, complex, str means what? String str. Of course, what is the meaning of str, sir? String. Next, fifth, bool is possible or not? Yes. Okay, these five data types are called fundamental data types of Python. Remember a bit very carefully, sir. These five data types are by default considered fundamental data types of Python. Okay, like fundamental data types. Next, sixth one, list is possible. Seventh, tuple is possible. Tuple is possible. Next, set is possible. Next, dict is possible. Dict is possible. Next, frozen set is possible. Frozen set is possible. Next, bytes is possible. Okay, bytes. Next, byte array is possible. Byte array is possible, like, okay, byte array range is also possible, range is also possible, like dot dot dot. Okay, don't worry. So these things are Python's inbuilt data types, but the first five data types, the first five data types, okay, the first five data types, sir, can you please spell out? In, float, int, float, complex, str, bool. Okay, these are considered as fundamental data types of Python. Fundamental data types of Python. Any doubt? What are various inbuilt data types available in Python? Maybe a chance to ask this type of question also. You should be in the position to answer. Clear, right? Okay. Next, there is maybe a chance to ask another question. Another question. Sir, here explain mutability, immutability with an example. Okay, explain mutability and immutability with an example. Explain mutability and immutability with an example. Maybe a chance to ask. Sir, very simple, sir. What is the meaning of mutability? Mutability means changeable. Okay, you can change. Immutability means non-changeable. So once we create an object, okay, once we create an object, if we are allowed to change its content, then that object is said to be mutable object. Remember this one, sir. Immutable means you can't change. You can't change. Okay, mutable means changeable. Okay, changeable. Okay, like whereas immutable means immutable means non-changeable, non-changeable. Okay, like so the first one, mutable means changeable, immutable means non-changeable. What it means, once we create an object, if we are allowed to change its content, then that object is said to be a mutable object. Okay, example. Okay, list object is mutable, like, sir, if I consider L is equal to, sir, I'm trying to take 10 comma 20 comma 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 40. I'm trying to take, sir. So now here just a print before before modification before modification I'm trying to print, sir. Before modification, L, sir. Now L of 2 is equal to 7777, like I'm trying to take, sir. L of 2 is equal to 7777. Print of after modification, after after modification. Okay, like L I'm trying to take. Sir, can you please confirm? Can you please confirm, in the same object, am I trying to perform the change or not? Please confirm. Please confirm. In the same object, am I trying to perform the change or not? Yes. L address won't be changed, sir. L is always same. In that object only, I'm trying to change the content. Remember a bit carefully, right? Now, observe carefully. Observe carefully. Yes, before modification, yes, it is. After modification, this is. But is the address of object changed or not? No chance at all. Address of object won't be changed. Now, sir, print address of list before modification. Address of list before modification. Before modification, yes, ID of L I'm trying to take. Now address of list after modification. Address of list after modification, ID of L, same address by default will be there. Now observe, is it the same address or not? Array, in the same list object only, we are trying to perform changes. That's why okay, there is no there is so once we create list object, happily we are allowed to perform any type of changes in that object, no problem at all. This behavior is by default considered as mutable. Any doubt? Can you please confirm? Are you feeling comfortable? Okay, what is the meaning of mutable? Okay, like now here just observe, yes, with the example list object is mutable. Suppose what about immutable? What about immutable? Once we create an object, once we create an object, if we are not allowed to change its content, we are not allowed to change its content, then that object is said to be, then that object is said to be immutable, non-changeable. Examples are, anyone can you please give an example? Tuple object is immutable. Tuple object is immutable. Okay, like where is the proof for that? Now I'm trying to take L is equal to, now I'm trying to take L is equal to 10 20 30 40. Instead of L, let me use a T, sir. T like suppose if I'm trying to take T of 2 is equal to 7777, like I'm trying to take, sir. Immediately we are going to get type error. Immediately we are going to get type error. Tuple object does not support item assignment. Remember carefully, right? Tuple object doesn't support item assignment, like we are going to get. Okay, tuple object is immutable. Immediately we will get error. Now have a look once, sir. Tuple object doesn't support item assignment. Okay, take very special care about this terminology. Any doubt? So once we create a tuple, is it possible to change its content? Is it possible to change its content? No chance at all. No chance at all. We can't change. We can't change its content, right? Similarly, if you are taking s is equal to okay, something like a bunny I'm trying to take. S is equal to bunny. S of 0 is equal to so here just C I'm trying to take, or otherwise here just A B C D instead of A B C D E F I'm trying to take. So S of 0 is equal to X I'm trying to take. So S of 0 is A. I know that. Now I want to change S of 0 with the X. What will happen? Have you observed, right? Type error. Str object doesn't support item assignment. Okay, please take a bit very special care about this. So once we create tuple object, we are not allowed to change its content. Once we create a string object, we are not allowed to change its content. Okay, example, str object is immutable or not? String object is immutable or not? Yes, string object is immutable. Take a bit special care. Clear? So if any person is asking the question, explain the difference between mutability, immutability. You should be in the position to give left and right. What is the meaning of mutable? Mutable means changeable. Immutable means non-changeable. Once we create an object, if we are allowed to change its content, then that object is said to be mutable object. Example, list object is mutable. Once we create a list object, happily we can perform any type of changes in that object, no problem, right? So once we create an object, we are not allowed to change the content, then that object is said to be immutable object. Example, tuple is immutable, next a string object is immutable. Yeah, clear, right? Okay, next maybe a chance to ask the question, sir. So in Python, which objects are mutable, which objects are immutable? In Python, which objects are mutable and which objects are immutable? Better to sir have better to have some small what we call summary of these kind of things. Okay, now here just almost around Okay, like range, like range, like this, right? Sir, int, can you please confirm? All fundamental data types are immutable. Immutable. Remember, all fundamental data types are immutable. Okay, immutable. So, all these fundamental data types are immutable. Even complex. Next and after that, str case. Next, bool case, bool case. All these things are immutable. Okay, like next, list. Can you please tell, is it mutable or immutable? Mutable. List is mutable because we can change its content. What about tuple, sir? Is it mutable or immutable? Yes, friends, can you please confirm? It is immutable. It is immutable. Immutable. Set, it is the mutable. Set, it is the mutable. Mutable, no problem at all. Next, dict is also mutable. Dict is also mutable. What about frozen set? The name itself indicates, right? The name itself indicates, right? It is the immutable. What about bytes and byte array? Have you remember, right? Bytes is immutable, but byte array is mutable. I respond. Bytes is immutable, byte array is mutable, range is also immutable. Okay, like so maybe a chance which objects are mutable, which objects are immutable, maybe a chance to ask, so you should have clear clarity about this. Okay, all fundamental objects, all fundamental data type objects in python are immutable. Clear? I hope everyone in the position to understand what is the meaning of mutable, what is the meaning of immutable. Okay, like any explanation is required? Okay, next next question. Sir, this is a very important question for the interview room. Take a bit special care. Explain the differences between list and tuple. Explain, explain the differences between list and tuple. The most valuable list and tuple. Explain the differences between list and tuple. Like so, it's a very important, right? Very important. Okay, like so the most valuable important question for the interview room. Even the last 5 questions, nothing is important, but this one is the most important concept. Okay, what are the differences? What are explain the differences between list and tuple? Do you know, if I can ask the question, list and tuple, can you please explain the difference? Everyone, everyone can tell list is mutable, whereas tuple is immutable. List is mutable, whereas tuple is immutable. Tuple is immutable. So out of 100, 99% of the people can answer this one. Then you can't show your identity. Remember that, because everyone is telling the same answer, then where is the specialty? If you can tell some more extra points, then definitely when compared with the remaining, yes, you can show your specialty. Are you getting? That's why let me show all the differences between the list and the tuple. Okay, like I want to talk. So now here just take a bit special care. There are multiple differences are there between list and the tuple. Okay, what is the list? Okay, just better let me summarize into the table form. Let me assume that so we are just keeping inside a table. Okay, so the first one is the list and second one is the tuple. Okay, like just let me summarize list and tuple. Okay, in the table form these points are there, sir. Okay, like so list, tuple. Okay, like next assume that it's the table, of course. So the first point, listen very carefully. What is the list, sir? Can I use the word list is a group of comma separated values or not? Please confirm. Array list is a group of comma separated values within square brackets. within square brackets. How you can specify list? How you can specify the list? List is nothing but, do you know, list is nothing but 10 20 30 40 10 20 30 40 within square brackets, within square bracket. And the square bracket is mandatory or not? Square brackets are mandatory or not? Yes. If you are not using square bracket, if you are not using square bracket, then it's not treated as a list. Remember that it is not treated as a list. Okay, like so list is a group of is a group of separated values, separated values within square brackets, within square brackets, square brackets. And the square brackets are mandatory, and the square brackets are mandatory. Okay, mandatory. Please take a bit special care. Sir, next, if you want example, right? L is equal to 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, like yeah. First point under the list is very clear for you people, right? Sir, what about tuple? What about tuple? Tuple case. Okay, can I use the word tuple? Is a list of tuple is a list of comma separated values or not? Tuple is a list of comma separated values within anyone, can you please tell? I forgot. Within parenthesis, within parenthesis, not square brackets, within parenthesis, within parenthesis. And the parentheses are optional or mandatory? Can you please confirm? Parentheses are optional. Parentheses are optional. Take a bit special care. Okay, where is the proof for that? Yes, here t is equal to 10, 20, 30, 40. You can take, you can take like this, or instead of that, even you can remove, even you can remove parentheses also. If you remove parentheses, still it is treated as a tuple only. Any doubt? The first point is very clear for you. Wherever square brackets are there, so it is by default considered the list. Wherever parentheses are there, it is by default considered the tuple. Okay, like now second point, sir. Now this is the most valuable point. This is the most valuable point. Already I covered, not required to keep any explanation, just for documentation sake. Let me talk. List objects are mutable or immutable. Interview person every time is always expecting this point only. List objects are mutable. List objects are mutable. That is, once we create a list object, once we create a list object, we can perform, we can change its content. We can change its content. We are allowed to change its content. Okay, like suppose L of 0 is equal to 7777. Is it possible or not? Please confirm. L of 0 is equal to 7777. It's possible, sir. But what about same tuple case, sir? Sir, tuple objects are mutable or immutable? Respond. Tuple objects are mutable or immutable? Tuple objects are immutable. Tuple objects are immutable. That is, once we create the tuple object, we are not allowed to change its content. We are not allowed to change its content. T of 0 is equal to 77777. Immediately we are going to get type error. This is the most valuable, very important point you have to aware. Any doubt? Can you please confirm? All the people are in the position to understand. Not required to keep any explanation. Okay, like sir, do you know, somewhere we cover, somewhere we covered about this point also. List objects require more memory. Tuple objects require less memory. Have you remembered in our regular sessions also, somewhere we showed this one? Okay, tuple objects, list objects require more memory, memory. But tuple objects require less memory. Tuple objects require less memory. 1 minute. Let me take L is equal to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. I'm taking, sir. That's all. This is about my list. Assume that. Sir, now my question is, it is the list. Let me take tuple also with the same content. Tuple also with the same content. Somewhere I showed this one. I hope how many people remembered. I'm not sure. So just print the size of list, sys dot get the size of. Have you remembered? Yes. Okay, like let me import sys. Okay, sys dot get size of, sys dot get the size of, sys dot get size of t sir. Okay, sys dot get size of t. Somewhere we covered, I hope. Okay, 1 minute, let me cross check. Yes, have you observed, right? The size of list is 136, but the size of tuple is 120. Just a matter of only 10 elements. Matter of 10 elements. The size of list is 136. The size of tuple is 120. Okay, remember that. So similarly, there is another point I have to highlight for you people, right? What is that point here is, okay, here how beautiful this tuple concept. How beautiful this tuple concept is, sir. Tuple content you can't change. That's why don't treat tuple as the villain. Tuple itself is the, sometimes it is the best choice also. Where memory point of view, it's too good. It's a memory point of view, it's a too good. Okay, like next, one more point, one more. I want to tell for you people, like what is that point is. Listen carefully. Suppose this is L1. This is L1. I'm trying to create L2 object. I'm trying to create L2 object. Okay. Next, this is the T1. I'm trying to create T2 object. T2 object with the same content. Yeah, beautiful. Observe carefully. How many list objects I created? How many list objects I created? Okay, 2 list objects. Every time a separate list object is going to be created. But in the case of tuple, if you want the same content, no new object will be created. Okay, print id of L1, print id of L1, id of L2. Yes, id of T1, id of T1, id of T2. I'm trying to take, sir. T2 I'm trying to take. Now observe how beautiful. In the case of list, two objects got created. So memory, how much is required? But in the case of tuple, only one object is going to be reused. That's why memory utilization. Wow, wonderful. Can you please observe that? In the case of list, every time it's creating separate object. But in the case of tuple, every time it's not going to create separate object, it will reuse existing object. So memory utilization will be improved or not? Memory utilization will be improved or not? That's why if there is no change in the content, if the content is fixed, highly recommended, compulsory, you should go for tuple only, but not for the list. Okay, list is never be good choice for you people. Just observe if the content is fixed content. Take special care about this point also. Okay, in the case of list, yes, in the case of list, so every time a new object will be created. Object in the case of list, list objects won't be reusable. Okay, list objects won't be reusable. Okay, like next, whereas tuple objects are reusable. Tuple objects are reusable. Okay, like now take very special care about this example, right? Okay, even example also just I'm keeping for you people. Any doubt? So the fourth point is also very clear for you people, right? Okay, well, there is one more point, sir. So do you know speed is very less for list objects. That is, so we can perform the operations or relatively speed if it is the tuple, operations are relatively slow on the list object. So if you are performing any operation on the list, a bit relatively slow. So performance wise, okay, speed is less for the list object, speed is more for the tuple object. Okay, like so performance of list is low. That is so operations on list object require more time, more time. Okay, like next performance of tuple is high. Performance of tuple is high. That is performance operations on tuple object require lesser time. Sir, retrieval operation I want to do that. Retrieval operation immediately you can do in the case of tuple, but it will take a bit more time in the case of list. Please take a bit special care. Performance wise also tuple is recommended when compared with the list. Then immediately ask, then why you have to go for go for list object? Why you require to go for list object? If the content is not fixed, you can't go for tuple. Compulsory we require to go for list only. Observe that everyone having every concept having its own advantages, its own problems also there. Okay, like clear, right? Yes, friends. Okay, next here see this a bit very carefully. Sir, have you remember comprehension concept applicable for the list but not for the tuple? Comprehension concept applicable for the list but not for the tuple. Yes, I hope you people may remember comprehension concept is applicable for list. Comprehension concept applicable for the list, but comprehension concept is not applicable for tuple. Not applicable for tuple. Not applicable for tuple like. Okay, remember carefully, right? Next, of course, what is comprehension? What is the comprehension? That concept I will take care, don't worry at all. Okay, what is the we covered already? You people are having idea, or otherwise I will explain with an example next, because maybe a chance to ask what is comprehension, explain about list comprehension, like maybe a chance to ask as a separate question. I will discuss for you people, right? Don't worry. Next, there is one more point I have to tell for you people, right? Okay, so do you know, if you want to save objects into set under dict, if you want to save objects into set under dict, compulsory the objects should be hashable. Remember carefully, right? Array, in the case of set, how the objects will be stored? Based on hash code. In the case of dictionary, how the objects will be stored? Based on hash code. Remember carefully, right? Array in the case of set, in the case of dict, in the case of set and dict, how the objects will be stored? The objects will be stored based on hash code. Okay, like so list objects are not hashable. Means you can't generate hash code for that. Non-hashable. So once these are non-hashable, you can't add list objects to the set. You can't add list object in the dictionary. By mistake, if you are trying to add, immediately error you are going to get. Remember a bit carefully about these points, sir. Okay, like sir, what the reason? Where is the proof? Where is the proof for that? Okay, how where is the proof for that? Very simple, sir. Very simple. Here, just observe carefully. Observe a bit carefully here. The most valuable, sir. What is this point is the very important. Suppose yes is equal to okay. Now I'm trying to take 10, 20, 30. Okay. Now which objects are added in the set? Can you please confirm which objects are added in the set? I added which objects in the set? Okay, int objects are hashable. Hashable, no problem at all. Okay, like int objects are hashable, no issue, right? Now here just take very special care about this one. Okay, now there is no problem at all. Yes, it is a valid. Now here I'm trying to add the 40 comma 50. Yeah, please confirm what is this object. What is this object? This object is what? List. Either list is hashable or non-hashable. List is hashable or non-hashable. It is not hashable. It is not hashable. If it is not hashable, then how you can add into the set? How you can add into the set? Okay, like immediately type error unhashable type list. Okay, like I'm trying to get, I'm getting this error. Okay, type error unhashable type list. Okay, like we are getting, sir. So similarly, you can't add the you can't add the okay list for the dictionary also. But what about tuple, sir? But what about tuple? Tuple is hashable or not? Please confirm. Tuple is hashable or not? Yes. Please take a bit very special care. Tuple, there is no problem at all. Have you observed, right? Tuple, there is no problem, right? But only problem with the set. Similarly, okay, like now I'm trying to take 10 comma 20, 10 comma 20. So colon Durga. What is this concept? Can you please confirm? It's a dictionary. It's a dictionary. In the dictionary, for the key, which object I used, sir? Which object I used for the key list object? Sorry, it is invalid. Okay, type error, unhashable type list we are going to get. Type error, unhashable type list we will get. Take a bit special care about this. Very important, right? Suppose if I can take a tuple, sir. If I can take a tuple, yes, for a fact this one is acceptable. We are not going to get any error at all. So means this seventh point is the very important point, sir. Take a bit special care about this one. Yeah, Ramnarayan, it is acceptable. In the case of list, no issue, because in the list, insertion order is important, but not a hashable type. That's why in the list, you can add a list, you can add set, no problem, right? But in the case of set, in the case of dict, you can't add the list objects. Okay, now here just observe list objects are hashable or non-hashable. Please guide, I forgot. List objects are hashable or non-hashable? Unhashable. Okay, unhashable type. List objects are unhashable type. List objects are unhashable type, and hence we can't store. And hence we can't store in set and in set and inside set and in dict as keys. Okay, like now, but the same point, but the same happily you can talk about this, sir. Here same tuple objects are hashable type. Tuple objects are hashable type, and hence we can store in set and in dict, no problem at all, no error. Remember a bit carefully, right? And hence we can store, yeah, the keys, we won't get any error. Yes, it is the valid. Even this case is also valid. Wow, wonderful. I hope is that clear for you people. Okay, next Ram Sai, the problem there is while saving the objects, it's always going to consider its hash code. While saving objects, it's always going to consider its hash code. Remember, that's why compulsory that object should be hashable. Maybe if anyone using Python 3.9, can you please check this one, is it valid or not? Anyone using Python 3.9, can you please check this line? Yeah, just I uninstalled the Python 3.9 because of some reason. Anyone using Python 3.9? Can you please check this one? Is it valid or not? Because from 3.9 version onwards, okay, dictionary is by default ordered dict. In that case, if it is not hashable, it should be accepted. Please check this one. Okay. Anyway, now the next important point. Sir, here can you please tell when it is recommended to go for list object? When it is recommended to go for list object, can you please confirm? When it is recommended to go for list object, can you please confirm? Yeah, if the content is not fixed, keep on changing, then we should go for list. Okay. If the content is not fixed, is not fixed, and keep on changing, and keep on changing, then if the content is not fixed and keep on changing, then it is recommended. It is recommended to go for list object. Okay, list object to store okay, YouTube comments. Assume that to store YouTube comments, just example sake I'm taking this one. So next term, if the content is fixed, if the content is fixed, so never changes. If the content is fixed and never changes, and never changes, then we should go for tuple object. Then we should go for tuple objects. Okay, like sir, now I want to prepare just the allowed input values for vendor mission. Allowed input values for vendor mission. Vendor mission. Okay, like something like allowed input values, something like ATM mission. You can get the output is always in terms of 100 or 500 or 1000, 500, like we are going to get. Okay, you won't get any other, or if a vendor mission is there, boss, these are the only allowed input types. Input types is always fixed, it never going to change dynamically. Such type of cases, happily we can go for tuple concept. Okay, this is the most beautiful, sir. If any person is asking about what is the difference between list and tuple, what the difference between list and tuple, just don't tell only one line. List is mutable, tuple is immutable. Better to cover these differences, then interview person can feel more happy. Yes, what those differences, it's a very clear for you people, right? List is a group of comma separated values within square brackets are mandatory, but here within parentheses are optional. Next, list objects are mutable, tuple objects are immutable. List objects require more memory, tuple objects require less memory. List object won't be reusable, but tuple objects are reusable. With the example I showed, performance wise, tuple is too good when compared with the list. Comprehension concept applicable for the list, but not for tuple. Okay, like next, do you know list objects are unhashable? That's why you can't save list objects into the set or in the dict, but tuple objects are hashable. Yeah, happily you can save, no problem, right? If the content keep on changing, not fixed, better to go for list. If the content is fixed and never changes, then better to go for tuple. Can you please confirm? All the people are in the position to understand. You can create empty list, you can create empty tuple, there is no problem at all. Channel. Packing not possible in list. Okay, yes, you can use the word packing and unpacking if you want. That point also you can. Packing, unpacking, so is possible in list, but packing is not possible. Not possible. Both the packing and the unpacking are possible in both. Packing and unpacking are possible in tuple. Okay, like if you want, you can include this point also. What is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of this one, sir? Sir, here L is equal to 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 40. Okay, this is something like a comma b comma c comma d, a comma b comma c comma d. So it is not a list, it is not a list, it is not list, remember this one. So same a comma b comma c comma d is equal to L. Is it valid or not? Valid, no problem, right? So inside L, first element will be the values of L will be unpacked, and it will be assigned to, first value will be assigned to A, second value will be assigned to B, third value will be assigned to C, and the fourth value will be assigned to D, something like here. See this here, L is equal to 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 40 is there. So A comma B comma C comma D is equal to L. Yes, print A comma B comma C comma D. Is it valid or not? Unpacking, Ramkoti, it is unpacking. Can you please unpack a list object and assign the values to A, B, C, D variables? Is it valid or not? Valid. 10, 20, 30, 40 we are going to get. Okay, suppose I have reverse is there. A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, C is equal to 30, D is equal to 40 is there. Can you please pack the values of A, B, C, D? Values of A, B, C, D, something like I want to do that. So L is equal to A comma B comma C comma D. I want to do. Is it possible or not? Is it possible or not? Okay, not possible because internally it is not a list, it is a tuple. Hey, respond. Internally it is not a list, it is the tuple. That's why it is not possible. We won't get list, we are going to get a tuple. We are getting tuple like. But if it is the tuple, both the things are possible. That's why some people may ask, sir, I want to do packing, just let me add the square bracket, then it will become list only, right? That's why this point is not that much important. Ignore, don't worry. Yeah, clear, right? Okay, so you are not required to worry much about this point. Just if you add square bracket, then it will be valid. So these 8 differences are perfectly valid. Happily you can use. Any doubt? Clear for you people, right? So almost around 4 or 5 questions we covered. Very important questions. The first, what is the difference between is operator and double equal operator? Explain about ternary operator or conditional operator. Next, and after that, what are various inbuilt data types available in Python? Next, what is mutability or immutability? Can you explain with an example? Next, in Python, which objects are mutable, which objects are immutable? Next, what is the difference between list and tuple? These 6 questions are a bit important. In the next video, we will refer some more questions.